this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm back today to do week 3 of the Junk Journal January 2025 collaboration from Meg Journals. I'm using the papers from Freebie Papers from Ink and Page Journals, and I will have a link in the description. Also in the description, I'm going to link my other 3 videos that I've done in case you've missed those and want to go back and watch. I did a introduction and week 1 and week 2, and I did some tags in between, and now this is week 3. So what we'll be covering today is opaque, balance, neutral, unfold, fragile, bright, and bubble. And I found these to be kind of fun. I have never done a journal with prompts like this, and I wasn't sure how I would feel about that, but as I go along, it seems that I'm getting more creative and putting more thought into each page. So I hope you'll enjoy what I'm going to share today. I have this journal. It's not all fastened together yet because I'm working on it as I go. And we've already covered pages 1 through 12, which I'm just going to flip through really fast for you. And then I'll go into detail on number 13, opaque. Number 4 was outline. Number 5 was depth. Number 6 was embossed. And I embossed around the flower there. Number 7 was tuck spot. Number 8 was antique. Number 9 was hidden. I have a hidden paper clip. Number 10 was trim. Number 11 was magazine. Number 12 was overlap. Now we're ready to look at page 13, number 13, and it is opaque. And at first I thought opaque meant like translucent, but after I thought about it, I realized that opaque, you cannot see through. You don't see light through. You don't know what's behind it or on the other side. So I decided to use a door that opens up. There were several in this package, and I really loved this one. So as I thought about it, I thought we cannot see the future. So our future is opaque. And in order to see the future, we have to unlock the door. And as I put this together, I put this part of it together before I fastened it down on the page. So I was able to put a brad here on the lock that goes across the door, and I used magnets on the end here. So the other magnet is hidden underneath here, and here is the magnet that closes it. So we're going to unlock the opaque door and see what our future is. And our future is bright. I use the light to symbolize a bright future. So that's my opaque. I have a little charm here with the key that unlocks the door. The next topic was balance. And as I thought about balance, I first thought about colors and things, and then I decided on darkness and light. So this page is darkness, this page is light. Over here and once I started coming up with the idea, I thought, I was going to put rest over here. So I put, what is the opposite of rest? Well, it was uh, work and activity. And I don't know, that didn't really fit on here. So I thought about darkness and light, and that's what I settled on. And so this is the side that is a time in the darkness, which has the street light, the moon and stars, the doorway into the nighttime. All these things symbolize darkness. And over here is a time in the sunshine. And if you notice on my little tag, I have a hashtag shine on. I have a little granddaughter who passed away at 17 months from cancer. And one of the things that my daughter and I and our family focused on was our ability to use her life as something positive rather than let the death destroy us. So this hashtag shine on, her name was Sadie, and at times we've used shine on Sadie. I just put shine on here because shine on signifies time in the sun, time in the light, spreading the light and joy, and that's what we do. So that was my contrast here, and I want to show you, I've used all the yellows, and this here looked like, that right there looks like a sunrise or sunset, and the pinks and purples that you see. And so I thought all of this, the happy butterflies, the yellows and the flowers and the sunset signified light, time in the sunshine. So I went through the pieces of the kit, and I found several things that indicated light to me. The butterflies, the pink fruit. And then I thought about the contrast, and I thought about Ecclesiastes 3 in the Bible. So I have printed that myself on these two cards as a way of reflecting on that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. And if you're familiar with the Bible, it gives a lot of contrast here. And so that's what I ended up with on this spread of these two pages. I really enjoyed putting that together, and I hope you've enjoyed looking at it too. Our next prompt is neutral. So I went through and just found all the neutral looking papers. I used a little bit of neutral lace here, and I turned this into a pocket, and it has little booklets that can be written on, and they're in neutral colors. So that one was pretty easy. The next one, number 16, is unfold. And I had taken these little journal cards, and there were 4 of them in a row, and instead of cutting them apart, I kind of folded them accordion style. So what I've done on here is made this so that it unfolds. You untie it, and it unfolds this way to see all the beautiful colors. But then you flip it this way and you can write. I did want to have plenty of writing space in this journal, and with all the decorating, there has to be tags or something to write on. I left a little space here, and I've called this journal Joy. So we have the colorful inside, but this side we can write on. I just took a flower here and folded it in half, and to use as kind of a tab to pull this open and closed. I mounted the lace on the page, and then I tied the ribbon around this and glued the whole thing down so that the ribbon stays put. I kind of carried the neutral colors across to this page also, just to make it all tie together, and our little splash of pink right here. it suddenly got dark in here, so I turned that light off on, maybe it'll help. Okay, number 17 is fragile. So I started thinking about what was fragile. And I took one of the papers that had this pretty flower and I just folded it in half and tore it out as a heart, because our hearts are fragile. I added another lace heart up here. Butterflies are fragile. Lace is fragile. And this lace lifts up to show a writing space and a very fragile feather. The last thing that I put on here was the pearls, because a string of pearls is fragile. Over here is more, I did a 2-page spread here. This in the pinks and this in the yellows. And these are all fragile things too. Some lace. This is just a decorative piece I had laying on my table. The butterflies, flowers, and feathers. So that's my spread for fragile. The next, number 18 is bright. And one of the things I liked in the papers that she gave for this week, there were lots of bright colors in there. And so it was easy for me to pick pink as brights. There were plenty of pink designs in there. So what I did was I made a pocket out of this pink. That was one of the journal cards in there. And these flowers that you see are die cuts that I had, and I happened to think of them while I was putting together this page. So I went and got them out and glued them on here. This is the flower in behind the pink books. And this is one of the tags that I made on the last video that I did, that I made out of clothing tags that I had saved. So it has the pink on it, and I wanted to tuck it in a little pocket, so I made kind of like a little belly band here, and I gave plenty of room to put my tag down in because it has lace and stuff on it. And then as I was looking through where I had these flowers in a little box, I had this butterfly that I had die cut, and I love it because it has the black on it too. So I like the contrast of that, ties in with this paper here. Now inside the pocket, I have placed some journal cards and tags that are bright. This tag I accentuated with this pretty little, this is some of that trim that I get bunches of it. It's a bunch in certain color combinations at Hobby Lobby. And I really like this. It's some type of yarn. And it has the pink and a little bit of orange, which you'll see in these pieces. I glued on one of my pink flowers and a pretty pink and purple butterfly. These I get at Dollar Tree, and their wings, they're dimensional and sparkly. This journal card here, I just added on the flowers that I had die cut out. And when you're trying to glue these on, I use the Barely Art glue. And that's my favorite glue. I like the really fine tip on it, and I've used it forever. And then when you're trying to put glue on these little bitty narrow things, I just use my reverse tweezers and hold it and put the glue around where I can, and then lay it down on the page, because you can't really hold onto this with your fingers when you're doing it. So this reverse tweezers works really well. So I'll just slide this in. And then the other two items are just cards, a tag and a card from the kit that were the bright pinks and purples and orange. Up here at the top, to put a number on, I had the bottle with the pink liquid in there, so I used that for my number 18. And last but not least is bubbles. And I wanted to use these round pieces from the kit. And but in the background, this was a neutral page. It just kind of happened to be like that as the way that my pages were laid. So I took, and I'll show you. For some reason, I had this roll of stamps on my desk. They're kind of obsolete stamps. They're 20-cent stamps for some reason. I had those, and they're laying there, and I thought that would make good bubbles. So I got my ink pads out in bright colors and just stamped on these bubbles with this. I could have used the lid off of something, but this was right there. So I used my stamp roll to make my bubbles in the background. This is another one of the tags that I made last week from the clothing tags, and it was round, so I decided to use it on here. And when I decided to do that, I saw the words "follow your heart" that I had on there, and I thought about how some people live their life in a bubble. They never step out and take a chance. They don't travel. They don't look to really grow. They're just safe. They're in their safe space. And so I decided that each bubble could be supportive of stepping outside your bubble, trying new things. And so I have "Follow Your Heart," "Everyday Magic," "Keep Going," "Dream," and "Step Out in Faith," which I wrote on a little paper myself. I had this laying on the desk, so I decided that since I had used it over here, it would kind of tie in. So I just kind of laid it on the page and glued these right on top. I just love it. I love these pages that I did this time. It's like my brain is starting to think a little more creatively, and I'm putting more thought into the process of creating these pages. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I have only 2 more pages in this journal to complete. I'll put something on the back cover, but it won't be anything that has to do with the days. But I have these 2 pages. And our next prompt is tissue. And I may do kind of a spread with tissues that I have, tissue paper that I have, and some of the elements from the kit on these 2 pages. And then I will start my second journal. And let me get it right quick. I decided I needed to break it into 2 journals. And this one doesn't have quite as many pages as this one does. But this is what I decided. I will do another number 1 for a cover. And then I will start through here, starting with map, which is number 21, and take it through the end of the month. And what I think I'll do when I finish is to take these 2 journals and tie them together with a ribbon, rather than to try to mount them in another big thing with a cover and all that. These are mine. I'm going to keep these. This was a fun project, and I want to remember it, so I will keep this and probably write in it. Some of the topics kind of spurred me to think about some things, so I'm excited about finishing up this one with tissue and starting this one with number 21, which is map. This has been an interesting journey. It's something different, and sometimes I start things like this and never follow through, or I wish I'd done it and I'm already too late to get into it. I would encourage you to try it, to make a journal with a prompt for each page. It is different from creating a themed journal, which you have one theme through the whole journal. This makes you get a little more creative and think about the words and what they might mean to you. And a lot of times I'll relate things to a song. I don't think I've done that in here, but at church when we have meetings and things, we'll be discussing a topic, and there's always a song that goes with it. And the music and the words to a song can enhance the meaning of a word. So I may even do a journal like that one day. But anyway, when you do the prompts, it makes you think a little more outside the box rather than just a journal with one theme. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is 10 degrees here in Kentucky. The wind chill factor is 0. I have my big standard poodle biscuit that I have to take out 4 times a day. And it's been a challenge, but at least the ice is gone and the snow is gone. And I can walk a little more steady as I go out. So remember, every day's a gift. Find something you love to do and do it. This I love. This is my therapy. To make it in the first place and then to share it with you and get feedback from you is just it's just a wonderful process for me. And I'm tickled that I've done this. I don't do it for any other reason but just to share and to make and to give gifts and to enjoy the process of making, and of course collecting all the stuff that I use to make these. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you'll, if you haven't looked at my other videos, go back and look at them, and so you're caught up with my process. And I will be back in a week with the next 7 prompts. So I'll be back before you know it. I'll see you soon.